Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and I just ranted in this camera for about 15 minutes about Target raising its minimum wage to $24 an hour. Then I thought about things, and I said to myself, Vince, you can't post that video. You sound like a crazy person. And so I'm taking a second shot. Gonna do it again. Do it better. More concise. Less crazy. Here's my take on this. People are like going nuts because Target came out very upfront and said, "Hey, in 2022, we're looking at raising our minimum pay for I think warehouse workers in Target Corporation to about $24 an hour." And the world lost its mind. It did. Uh, but here's why this makes so much sense. Where I live in the middle of nowhere, in New Hampshire, not a very affluent area. There's not that many people. And if you want to work in fast food, they'll give you $18 to $22 an hour with like a starting bonus. That's how desperate they are for employees. Without employees, they can't open the restaurant. They don't make any money, right? So you got that, and you look at it, you're like, well, I can work at Taco Bell. And Taco Bell's amazing. It tastes so good. Or I can go work at Walmart for $12 an hour. Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to go work in fast food, right? Take it a step further. Many EMTs earn less than $15 an hour. Our federal minimum wage is $7.25. I'm not saying EMTs earn $7.25, although I bet you somewhere in the US I could find one who does. But I will tell you this, EMTs often do earn less than $15 an hour to risk their life. To risk their life. To do lots of training, to have a depth and wealth of knowledge that saves lives. Like literally the level of experience and the depth of knowledge of the EMT who comes to save your life, comes to save your life, their knowledge can determine whether you live or die. And yet they are compensated $7, $8, $10 an hour less than a fast food worker. I'm not pitting EMTs against fast food workers. I'm saying this Target move is a catalyst. There are so many jobs where the pay is going to have to be revised. Because these workers are going to look at it and say, why would I do this? Why would I be a social worker? And if you break down my salary by hours worked, make less than $24 an hour, make less than a Target employee with worse insurance, right? A New York City social worker, on average, earns less than now a Target worker is going to earn with worse insurance. Yeah, the new Target insurance they're rolling out is going to include fertility services, physical therapy. Like, I can't explain to you how garbage the New York City employee health insurance is. I can't explain to you how little it covers. It's not insurance. It's not. It's less than. It's something insurance adjacent that is less than. So if you're a social worker for New York City and you're in the game helping, you're there to help people, and then you wake up one day and you realize, hey, I can work at Target and wear a spiffy red shirt and have not a care in the world and not work so hard and not have to be hated by everyone just because I'm trying to help, and my health insurance would be better, and they would help me have a kid if I, am an elder millennial and I'm running out of time to have a kid like all of my peers are because I'm the world's oldest millennial, right? And you might say to yourself, yeah, I guess I've done my time. I don't need to be a social. I spent a decade trying to help people as a social worker. I'm burnt out. It's really hard. I'm gonna go work at Target and make more money. Make more money, right? Like government jobs, other employers, all private employers. Like these are all going to have to compete. I cannot stress enough. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. Currently, a minimum wage of $15 has a buying power less than $7.25 was able to buy when I was a kid working at Circuit City. You can argue with me if you want, but don't waste my time. Look at the data and come with data. I'm serious. Look at the data. Look at the buying power. Then you can have a conversation with me about the buying power. None of this. You're wrong. No. Why? Why am I wrong? Who says I'm wrong? Show me the math. Okay? It's facts. We're talking facts here, people. So that's the world we live in. We decided during the pandemic that we were going to prove or disprove modern monetary theory. We decided we were going to print oodles and bushels of money and give it to rich people and then pretend to give a little bit to the middle class and the lower class. And in printing all that money for rich people, we devalued the US dollar. We devalued the 90% of the pensions of this nation. Those pensions, those US dollars, your salary, your hourly rate buys less. It buys less shelter, buys less food, buys less gas. You can buy less for the same number of US dollars now. And that's a real problem. And we're going to see employers caught in the midst of a staffing crisis, caught in the midst of the Great Resignation, have to jack up wages way up. And it's coming fast. It's coming fast. Listen, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I called the inflation, called the Great Resignation. These are all themes we've been talking about. All themes we've been talking about. Food is about to get very expensive. The world's largest grain producer, grain exporter, just invaded the world's third largest grain exporter. China bought up and is storing currently between 60 and 70% of all the world's grain, and its government is freaking out about food shortages. We have a full-blown fertilizer crisis. We had a full-blown fertilizer crisis before we put sanctions on Russia, which was, I will tell you, the world's largest exporter of fertilizer. Food's about to get very expensive worldwide. Over the past half decade, we have pushed an extra 100 million people in the world into food insecurity. There are food insecure people in every state in the U.S. New York State and New York City, where people pay taxes close to 50%. Yeah, there are tons of food insecure people. Why are there food insecure people here when we tax people so much? I don't know. We have a lot of children here in New York City who count on school lunch programs for their sustenance. And yet, knowing that those children count on school lunch for the food that forms their brains and keeps them alive, we decided a couple years ago, meatless Mondays. Why we do that? Yeah, no meat lunch. It's cheap. Yeah, new mayor. We're going to go vegan on Fridays. Ugh. Yeah, no, that's not, there needs to be protein in the diet. You can have a rounded, healthy vegan diet. You can, if you spend lots of money. They're not. They're eliminating nutrient-dense, high-protein foods to save money because they're misrunning the city and the state. And they don't care about these children. They take the money saying, hey, give us the money, we're going to help people. There's a lot of hungry people left. Where'd all the money go? Where'd the money go, guys? Why are the kids hungry? Anyways, good for Target. They're going to need those employees. And companies who don't adapt, who don't see this as a catalyst to jack up wages, to do things to get employees to come to work for them, they're going to cease to exist very rapidly. It just is what it is. And I think that's great for the working people of the world. It's a shame it's taken so long. It's a shame the world had to change in so many negative ways for us to get here. It's a shame that it's not really going far enough, right? Like this big jump to $24 an hour. Great. That's great. Yeah. But the world is still changing rapidly. Inflation is still on the rise, right? Like, it's not like we're going to go $24 an hour and be like, we're done for another 10 years. No, it's not the game. That kind of world is past. We're in a rapidly evolving world now. These companies are going to have to rapidly evolve just to keep up. I hope this helped in some way. Maybe you think I'm a fool. You can comment down below. I will definitely be respectful in that conversation, unless you come at with me with no data and tell me I'm wrong about inflation, in which case I will just make noises at you. Like and subscribe. It helps me to help more people just like you.